together each day. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Good afternoon, everybody. Happy Tuesday. I hope you're having a good day. All right. Hi, Ingrid. Good to see you. Hi, Michelle. Hi. So, I'm doing this. Well, I'm doing this. But, I've been around this program for a while. There's a way that it goes, and it's just the way that it goes, and there's not anything that you can do about it. Sometimes you're going to put a lot of hard work into something. Okay. There's a saying, don't work harder than your sponsor. Never work harder than your sponsor. I'm sorry, sponsee. See, my dyslexia is still in full bloom this week. This probably won't be the easiest one to talk about. I've lost a lot of friends in AA. A lot. Probably hundreds. I think I have more contacts on my phone than I do friends on Facebook. I mean, my phone is just full of people that I haven't heard from in some of them years. Some go on to do other things, and I'll hear from them again. But a lot of times they just disappear. Welcome to Daily Trudge. My name is Dion. I'm going to be your host. If you'd like to host or co-host at some point, actually, I'll let you co-host before I let you host. I'm not going to just let you jump on my platform and host, but you can't co-host with me. If you're here, please say hello, whether you're watching the live or the rewatch. I think it's in here. I'm going to see if I can find it real quick by flipping. There's somewhere in the literature that I have that tells us, that actually gives us the breakdown. And I think it's in this one, but I remember it being towards the back. I probably won't be able to find it. I found it. Thank you, God. I found it. It's an Alcoholics Comes of Age. All right. Oh, this isn't what I thought it was. They are statistics, but it shows how we got bigger by 75% each year. So it was a wrong statistic. Sorry, I wasted our time on that one, but at least now we know it's a different statistic. I don't know what the stats are at the moment, but about half of us make it. About half of us make it. And what is make it? Just because this person has left me as a sponsee, or maybe I haven't heard from them again, they probably don't want to fire you. They're too new. They don't know how to fire you yet. So hopefully your sponsee has secretly fired you and moved on. That's the best that I can always hope for. Okay? Because it's not about me. And here's our problem. Okay? Hey, Amber. Good to see you. There's some great people here today. All my friends are here. All my friends are here. I have very few friends, but they're here. Yes, Michelle, I do consider you one of my friends. And if you're in my phone, you're a friend. Some of you ain't in my phone yet. You're still just a number. Okay. I'm picky, man. I'm picky. You see, a lot of people come in and out of my life, and I have an abandonment problem. All of us alcoholics do. And that's why we have such a hard time with this. They abandoned us. And it hurts, man. That's why we're hurt. Nobody likes to be abandoned, sure. Even though I say the best I can hope for, that doesn't mean it doesn't hurt a little bit. But it is what it is. And if that's their recovery and that's what they want to do, then more power to them. There's not anything that I can do. Okay. That was it, Daryl. That's how it worked for me. I've never fired a sponsor, and I've never fired a sponsee ever. No. I've never fired because I'm a forever person. And what I don't want to happen, if somebody's not going to do the work, they just fall off. Then they just don't do the work. That's what happens. I do nothing. Okay. Because sooner or later they may come back and say, hey, Dion, I messed up. And I want them to be able to approach me. Okay. I don't even want, so when I start with sponsees, I try and let them know, and of course they forget because we're alcoholics. Right? Hey, man, if you need to find somebody else or something's going on, just tell me. It's okay. You're not going to hurt my feelings. Okay? So I've done this enough. I know when to detach. Okay? Hey, if you, I know I don't want you to, but if there's a slip or a relapse, don't feel ashamed to come back to me. I'm not going to get mad at you. I'm not even going to be disappointed in you. We don't work that way here. And I'm not disappointed in somebody that goes back out. They're dealing with something beyond their control. And I understand that. Okay. But sometimes we get to a point, some of us that get to a point where we've done a lot of work in this program, but not everybody is willing to do the work. In fact, you're going to find that a lot of people aren't willing to do the work. We love them. Sure we do. Okay. Being an AA member is not freaking easy. It's not. We deal with some of the hardest things in AA than anywhere else in the world. We deal with abandonment and death on a daily basis. Yeah. And this is a good way to look at it too. If I'm not helping them, I'll find them someone else. Yeah, absolutely. I tell them that absolutely. Because I'm kind of rough. So I let them know, if I'm not working for you, let's find a person that will. It's not about me. And that's the hard part. That is the hard part. Because we have these relationships. Okay. So there's only one person left. There's only one person left that I know that is still around when I first came into AA. Otherwise, all of my friends are gone. Most of them are gone. Chris Hill's the only person left. He's the only person left from those original friends that I had with Chet and Joe Burke and oh no, Red's still around. Of course, I didn't meet Daryl till a little bit later. But that's what's great about us, Daryl. I don't want to be everybody's favorite treat. I don't even want to be their cup of tea. Yeah. Yeah, I don't go for popularity. Just not something I do. I really don't care. What I do care about is helping. Was he? That's awesome. I just saw him. He just celebrated 6 years. That floored me. I'm going to tell you something, you guys. He was one of those people I didn't think he'd ever have a relapse. No. So don't ever determine anything. Don't ever determine any. And he's doing great. Red is Red. Red is awesome. I love Red. I will always love Red because Red is always stead to himself. Not Red Man. Isn't it just Red? Yeah, Red Man. Yeah. Red hair. We might be talking about the same people. Who knows? Probably been through a couple of Reds through Puttin Sober. Yeah. Probably just now, if I would have said Tiny, then who the hell would we be talking about, right? Big Joe, you know. I haven't been to the new Puttin Silver. I have no business there. So I bring this up because a friend of mine who is what we call it normal. But nobody will ever forget Odd Rod. Odd Rod was my favorite. Loved Odd Rod. He was the most honest person in the world. And I would go up and talk to this guy after the meeting because he scared the hell out of me. And I knew he wasn't that way. This man had a huge heart. He had a huge heart. He was the coolest dude. Anyway, I love odd ducks, man. I attract people that are odd like me. I wouldn't say I'm odd, but I don't, when it comes to this program, I follow it verbatim, man. I do not chintz on these words. I don't mess around with it. I won't. Okay. I've learned my lesson. Okay. And it was a very tough lesson. I almost did not make it back. And I still came back. And he probably ended it. How do you like me now? I love you. How do you like me now? It was probably a Vitae too. It was Vitae, Primary Purpose, Club North, or yeah, it was probably one of those, or Bud Sober, obviously. Sorry, Daryl and I are flashing back here, and it's kind of fun. I kind of needed that. I'm missing my friends, man. I've had a lot of friends in this program. I've been around for 30 years. People come and go. Okay. But in the end, there is usually a chunk of us, like Daryl and I and Chris, okay, that have been around for a little bit and we love what we do. Okay. And our primary purpose is stay sober and help other alcoholics to achieve sobriety. And because of that, I am 100% successful as a sponsor. Yes, I am. So are you. You are 100% successful as a sponsor. You're still sober. That's why we work with other alcoholics, See, working with other alcoholics keeps me sober so I can continue working with other alcoholics. Even though in the back of my mind that I know that 1 of 5 is going to probably make it. I'm going to look around the room and half of them ain't going to be there in 2 or 3 months. That's why I do not push people to put on their cameras. If you don't have your camera on in a Zoom meeting, you're probably not going to make it. Yeah, you would. Yeah. Yeah. If you stick around long enough, not only will a fellowship grow up about you, but several times, not just once. Okay. I'm going through it again at 7.5 years of sobriety. I am going through another fellowship change because they all disappeared again. They all disappeared again. I don't know where they all went. And I don't chase people. No, I don't chase people unless you're my wife. I chased her, but I ain't going to chase anybody else. I chased her for 3 months. I didn't chase her. I stalked her. Let's call it what it was. I was infatuated. I followed her home. I stole her phone number out of her file. I was the assistant manager. I had access to that stuff. Anyway, back on track. Yeah, I mean, it's hard. It is. But don't give up. Okay, because you will. What'll happen is you will have experiences that are unique and priceless. Being an alcoholic is so much more than alcoholism. When I say that we are selected, when I say that we are chosen, it is so much more than just alcoholism. We can actually avert death and misery for other people. Oh, something must be going on. Mark, don't call me very often. I'll have to call him right back. Okay. A receipt from Podbean. Yay, all the bills are coming through. So, don't let this discourage you. You know, I've had my sponsors show up on my doorstep drunk before. You know, and this is about right. Okay. Red Man told me to get out of the ignorance. Yeah, then we're talking about the same. Yeah. And into the education of my disease. The first stat I found out that only 1 in 34 of us survived this thing. And he's not far off. Survived this whole thing. Now, when it comes to statistics, don't let them determine who you are or what it is that you're going to do. Don't let it be a determination. Oh, if 1 in 34 is going to make it, well, then I'm going to, there's no way. No, then be that one, man. Be that one. I am one of those 34. You know who made that choice? I did. I made that choice. God gave me the choice. And I decided to stick with recovery. See, what happened is I decided to get sober. And I did not get sober for myself. I got sober for my wife and my kids. I couldn't do it for me. I hated me. Okay? So when we hear things like, when I hear things like you got to get sober for yourself, you know what? Fuck off. No, we do recovery for ourselves. But it took me months. It took me 2 years to get off the fucking hooch, man. Yeah. There you go. See? So now sometimes these things can motivate us. Okay. So that's why I took the opposite side, because statistics affect people different ways. Daryl took it as a challenge. That's how I took it. I'm like, well, then I'm going to be 1 in 34 because I've been given the chance. Now, if we continue to do that, that number is going to go lower. The number will go lower. I've seen it go lower. Okay. Now, that's a statistic after a statistic after a statistic. Okay. About half. Okay. Here's the thing, though. About half make it that make it to AA. All right. See, you got sober at his ex. He did it out of spite. So what? But I tell you, we old timers, we don't give a fuck. If that's why you're getting sober, we're like, that's great news. God bless her. That's what we say. God bless her. See, these people in our lives that are begging us to get sober, okay, you best give them fucking credit, man. Because they did do things. Did they get you actually sober? No, God did that, okay? But once that perfect release happened, you were given a choice. And it says it in the big book. What was our choice to be? We were either going to take God into our lives or go on to the bitter end. That is the choice that we're talking about right now. Many people have the fear of getting well. It's true, okay? The fear of getting well keeps more people out of AA than anything else. They don't want to change, okay? I have a friend, his name is Steve. He's going to die from this disease. He saved my life when I was fucking 19. And I wish I could do the same for him. I wish I could. He contacts me every now and again, and things like that. Okay. But if it wasn't for Steve coming up to me when I was 19 and saying, "Hey, Dion, we're all going off to college. You can't keep sleeping on our couches. Here's $5. You need to go down to the shelter and get yourself a room." If he wouldn't have done that, I'd probably be dead. Because that night I ended up in a place called the Phoenix Concept. And I would stay there for a year. And I would learn a new life. Michelle says, my children were the reason I got sober. Yeah. I was a mess. Yeah. I didn't want to, and that was it. That was it. I did not want to die in front of my kids like that. See, I had been sober before. And I knew that it was my actions emotionally beating the shit out of my wife. And she does not deserve that. If you've ever met my wife, okay, I haven't met a person with a bigger servant heart in my life. Okay. Now, Phoenix Concept was, I want it back, Daryl. I want it back. I really do. The Phoenix Concept was an original sober living. We were a bunch of Skid Row alcoholics, okay? We never took a government grant. We never took anything from the government. Yet every month we paid our rent in that big fucking building. Skid Row alcoholics paying rent. Yeah, they were real. Yeah, Step 13, which is now called Step Denver. Okay. Now, the reason that place was called Step 13 is because Step 13 used to mean that you died sober. Why we made the change, I don't know, but whatever. Phoenix Concept was fantastic. Right now, my because I've been thinking of the next steps. And the next step is a halfway house for homeless alcoholics. That's the next step in Adams County. That's where I'm at. I'm up north here. Okay. And that's what we really need. But there again, I can't do it alone. There's no way. There's no way I'd be able to run it. I'd love to be a part of it. But man, we need to do something. Because they're dying, man. Okay. Our numbers are low. And I'd really like to bring back that camaraderie that we used to have. Now, I know that we can't go back to the good old days. I know that. I realize that. But I also understand that recovery works in a certain order, and it just works that way, and that's how it is. Yeah. I was actually I think it was like the 4th or 5th alumni from the Phoenix Concept. It was a long time ago. In fact, those plaques back there are from the Phoenix Concept. I made those when I was 19. Yeah. My girlfriend at the time kept them. She's now my wife. Yeah. I met my wife back when I was 18. I was working at Skipper's. So I'd love to find out which friends you have from the Phoenix Concept, because I may know them, and it'd be great to actually meet another alumni from the Phoenix Concept, because I'm the only one that I know of. And if I'm not the only one, then I would love to talk to them, because those are the people I need. So maybe it's Daryl, maybe you and I need to do a little bit of talk and see what we can pull together. I know you're already busy and stuff, but I know you. The reason that I'm saying that is because I don't trust easily. I've known Daryl for a long, long time. So long time. Okay. Long time. And Daryl's, I'm going to tell you something. Daryl's the only person that rides a motorcycle in AA that I talk to anymore. Josh and Steve. I believe Steve was my sponsor. Didn't Steve run it after a little while? But we'll talk outside of here. Yes, COVID did severely injure AA meetings. I absolutely agree. And this has been a good one, man. You know, so no. Don't, yeah, then you tell Steve I said hi. He probably got a ton of years now. Who knows? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, because all we have is today. It just doesn't matter. All right. Thank you, everybody, for being here. My producer's letting me know it's time to wrap up. So if you can figure out who my producer is, it's Ingrid. She's not my producer. She just knows when I'm going to end. So thank you, everybody, for being here. I appreciate it. And if you could, I don't know that she's on here, but if you could pray for our friend Amber today. It's not my business to say anything. I just know that today's a little bit tougher for her. So if we could throw Amber, I'm telling you, my dyslexia is. If we could throw her in our thoughts today, that would be awesome. So, all right. Thank you, everybody, for being here. I love you. Be good to you today. Yeah, Ramber. Ramber. I'm not going to hear the end of that one, at least for a month. I love you. Peace out and have a day.